Chaos erupted at the Washington Hilton as gunfire shattered the annual White House Correspondents Dinner this Saturday. UFC CEO Dana White was front and center when the room descended into pure pandemonium and agents rushed to evacuate President Donald Trump. While others hit the floor for cover as shots rang out, the combat sports mogul remained standing and refused to take his eyes off the action.
Your brand new iPhone deserves the best protection, and the iLume 3-pack screen protector plus 3-pack camera lens protector has you covered. Don't take risks with your iPhone. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
In a viral reaction that has stunned the internet, Dana White later described the terrifying assassination attempt as absolutely effing awesome. The UFC boss admitted he took in every single minute of the security sweep as agents swarmed his table looking for the shooter. He told reporters it was a crazy and unique experience that he simply could not look away from despite the high-stakes danger unfolding around him. The suspect, 31-year-old Cole Thomas Allen, reportedly breached the main magnetometer with multiple weapons before being apprehended by federal authorities. While one Secret Service officer was struck by gunfire, officials confirmed the agent was saved by his protective gear and is currently doing well. President Trump remains unhurt and has since labeled the gunman a lone wolf while the investigation into the breach continues. As conspiracy theories swirl online about whether the event was staged for political theater, the public is left questioning the reality of the night. With the upcoming UFC Freedom 250 event scheduled to be held on the White House lawn, the security landscape has never been more scrutinized. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss another high-stakes update. Imagine sitting down for a night of political comedy and fine dining at the White House Correspondents Dinner, only to have the room explode into absolute chaos. That is exactly what went down this past Saturday when the event turned from a gala into a scene straight out of an action movie. UFC CEO Dana White was front and center for the madness, and his reaction? Well, it was exactly what you would expect from the man who runs the octagon. As shots rang out near the main entrance, the ballroom turned into a tactical zone. Secret Service agents swarmed, tables were flipped, and the elite of Washington were whisked away for safety. White, who was just feet away from President Trump, didn't hit the deck like everyone else. Instead, he stayed standing, taking in every second of the adrenaline-fueled pandemonium. He later described the whole ordeal as ing awesome, a bold take, but perhaps unsurprising for a guy whose entire career is built on high-stakes intensity. It's worth noting the irony here. Just moments before the terror unfolded, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt told the press that the president was ready to fire some shots during his speech, meaning sharp-tongued jokes. Little did she know, the evening would take a literal, dangerous turn instead. While the president was forced to cut his speech short, he later addressed the public, framing the attack as a badge of honor, claiming these kinds of things only happen to leaders who actually move the needle. Thankfully, the outcome wasn't a tragedy, though one Secret Service agent was struck, surviving only because of their protective gear. A 31-year-old suspect is currently in custody, facing serious federal charges. The event, of course, was scrapped, though they plan to reschedule within the month. It's a stark reminder that even in the most secure rooms in the world, reality has a way of crashing the party. What do you think? Is Dana White's reaction just plain cool, or is it completely out of touch with the gravity of a shooting? Drop a comment below, hit that subscribe button for more updates on this developing story, and stay safe out there. Ever wondered how the most high-pressure individuals on the planet react when gunfire erupts in a room full of dignitaries? It turns out, if you are UFC CEO Dana White, you don't even flinch. Last Saturday at the Washington Hilton, the White House Correspondents Dinner turned from a gala into a crime scene, but viral footage shows White sitting at his table with an unnerving, almost casual composure that has left the internet stunned. As a guest of former President Donald Trump, White found himself in the crosshairs when 31-year-old Cole Thomas Allen stormed a security checkpoint armed with multiple weapons and opened fire. While chaos typically ensues in these scenarios, Dana White's reaction was pure combat sports mentality. In a candid chat with USA Today, White admitted that he didn't even duck for cover, bluntly describing the intensity of the moment as F***seeking awesome. It is a surreal juxtaposition. While a law enforcement officer was taking a bullet, thankfully saved by a vest, the UFC boss was busy scanning the room, thinking the shooter was heading straight for his table. It is this exact brand of unflappable steel that has defined his career in the octagon, though perhaps not the level of calm we expect at a black tie event. Thankfully, the officer involved is recovering well, but the event itself has been indefinitely postponed as authorities piece together this terrifying breach. It serves as a stark reminder that in the world of high-profile public figures, danger is often only a heartbeat away. What do you make of White's reaction? Is it raw courage, or just a man who has spent too many years around adrenaline-fueled cage fights? Drop a comment below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for your daily dose of MMA truth. Because in this game, the real story is usually far crazier than the headlines. Imagine you're at one of the most prestigious, buttoned-up events in the world, the White House Correspondents Dinner, when suddenly the room erupts into pure chaos. Tables are flipping, security is swarming with weapons drawn, and shots are ringing out. Most of us would be diving for cover, but Dana White? He had a front row seat, and his reaction was anything but expected. When news broke that there was an attempted strike on President Donald Trump at the event, the atmosphere shifted from glamour to a high-stakes security nightmare in seconds. While the shooter was apprehended well away from the president, the frantic response from Secret Service personnel turned the ballroom into a scene straight out of a Hollywood blockbuster. And if you know Dana White, you know he lives for intensity. Speaking to reporters shortly after, the UFC CEO didn't sugarcoat his experience. He admitted that while the room descended into panic and people were screaming for everyone to hit the deck, he just stood there, taking it all in. In his own words, he called the sheer chaos fucking awesome. It's the ultimate Dana White moment, finding the adrenaline in the middle of a national security scare. He even mentioned that with security rushing their table to clear the area, he genuinely thought for a second that he might be right in the middle of the line of fire. This incident adds a massive layer of tension to what's coming next. We already know that White is deep in the trenches with the president's security detail, coordinating the upcoming UFC Freedom 250 event scheduled for the White House lawn this June. It's set to be the most expensive and logistically nightmarish production in the history of the sport, and after what went down at the dinner, you can bet the security protocols are going to be on a whole new level. What do you think? Is Dana just wired differently, or is this just the kind of adrenaline junkie behavior we've come to expect from the UFC boss? Drop a comment below and let us know your take. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more updates on the intersection of sports, news, and the unpredictable. Sometimes, the most interesting stories aren't the ones in the ring, they're the ones happening in the front row. Imagine being inches away from an assassination attempt, and your first reaction is to call it King Awesome. That is exactly what happened at the 2026 White House Correspondents Dinner. But as the dust settles, a storm of controversy is brewing, not just about the security failure, but about whether this whole thing was a calculated political stunt. Let's break down the night. The Washington Hilton was packed with 2,500 guests when 31-year-old Cole Thomas Allen, a Caltech graduate and former Teacher of the Month, forced his way through a security checkpoint with a small arsenal. Gunfire erupted, a Secret Service officer was hit in his vest, and President Trump was rushed out of the room. It was chaos. But in the age of viral clips, the story wasn't just the shooting, it was Dana White's reaction. The UFC boss sat just feet from the head table, and his claim that he didn't duck, that he just soaked in the crazy, unique experience, left the internet divided. To his fans, it's just peak Dana. To his critics, it's a red flag that he might have known something they didn't. That brings us to the elephant in the room, the theory that this was staged. You've seen the videos circulating online, people pointing at the delayed reactions of the president and Melania as they watched a mentalist perform just before the shots rang out. Skeptics are calling it WWE tactics, a script designed to boost approval ratings, especially given the history of the 2024 Butler rally. Is it a genuine security nightmare, Or are we witnessing a massive political performance piece? Look, on one side, you have a federal investigation, an injured officer, and a suspect currently facing serious charges. On the other, you have a public deeply cynical about the political theater of it all. Trump was already using the incident to push for new security policies hours after the evacuation. It's lightning fast, it's polarizing, and it's fueling a wildfire of speculation. Was this a catastrophic breach of security, or did we just watch the most expensive piece of political theater in American history? Hit the comments below and let me know where you stand on this. And if you want more deep dives into the stories that have everyone talking, make sure to subscribe. Sometimes, the truth isn't just stranger than fiction. It's a lot more chaotic.